Welcome to the Heavenly Manna. Today we are going to meditate on the 7 important lessons that we can learn from the wedding in Cana of Galilee from the book of John chapter 2. Number 1, invitation. We see that Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. Jesus will never come into our lives unless he is invited, and he will never take up any other position other than the throne of our life. We should be ready to surrender and submit our life totally to his lordship, and he will enter in and take his rightful position. Number 2, they ran out of wine. Inviting Jesus does not guarantee a total, smooth and perfect ride. There could come a time of shortage, a time of crisis. However, having him on the throne, you are in a safe place, you are in a secure place, because he knows how to bring you out from every crisis that we may face on our day-to-day lives. Number 3, Jesus says, "My hour has not yet come." For us, it is always time. Sometimes we feel that our breakthrough should have happened yesterday. But for Jesus, he will only work at the appointed divine perfect time. And we need patience and endurance for until that time to wait for him. Number 4, we might think the breakthrough is going to come to us from some far place. But we see that what was lacking in the house, it was impossible to produce it with the resources that was available inside that house. However, having Jesus in that place, in the history there has never been an event when water was used as a source to produce wine. However, Jesus does the impossible. What is not possible with man is possible with God. And he can do his great deed in our life with what we have, even though we might think all that we have is insufficiency. But let us submit to the Lord. Number 5, unquestionable obedience. If the servants use their logic, they will not be able to put into practice or implement what Jesus is asking them to do. Jesus tells them, fill the water pots with water, and we read, and they filled them up to the brim. We see a perfect obedience from the part of the servants, despite the fact that what Jesus is telling them may not appeal to their rational or logical intellectual thinking. We need to submit our own knowledge and our own logic at the feet of Jesus to see his hand of miracle to start working in our lives. We see that the master of the feast, when he tasted the wine, did not know where it came from. And the master of the feast called the bridegroom, and he said to him, every man at the beginning sets out the good wine, and when the guests have well drunk, then the inferior, you have kept the good wine until now. Always remember that there's gonna be a group of people around you who actually has no clue of what is the process that you have been going through and what has happened behind the scenes for what they are seeing today that the Lord has done in your lives. But one thing that really touched me here is the bridegroom is keeping silent. He does not even answer a word. I even think maybe the bridegroom never knew at that point what really happened. The lesson that we need to learn there is to learn to keep silent when we really don't need to speak. And at the due time, point number 7 and final point that we learn here is this beginning of signs Jesus did in Cana of Galilee and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. If we will submit our lives at the feet of Jesus, if we will invite him, if we will hand over our crisis into his hands, he knows how to troubleshoot it perfectly, because he is the wisest of the wise. And ultimately, he will reveal his glory. And through what he does in our lives, people will believe in Jesus. We see that even his own disciples believed in him as a result of this great sign that he performed at the wedding in Cana of Galilee. May the Lord richly bless us and abundantly reveal his supernatural provisions in our lives in days to come. God bless you.